Red Bull, and especially Christian Horner, have experienced a rather chaotic start to the season. On track, everything seems to be going smoothly for now, with 2 wins out of 2. But this fairy tale could end quickly, as Horner's worst nightmare could soon become a reality. Why? Well, the Red Bull employee who accused team leader Christian Horner of misbehavior has allegedly filed an official complaint with the FIA and challenged her Red Bull punishment, according to the BBC. And this will prompt the case to go public, as well as FIA needing to do their own investigation into the matter. So this could be the end for Horner. Last week, it was revealed that Red Bull Racing had suspended the female employee who filed the allegation against Horner, prompting an inquiry headed by an external attorney who dismissed it. It is now reported that the employee will appeal the decision, a request filed within the 5-day appeal request process that began with the issuance of legal letters earlier this week. On Saturday, the BBC reported that the employee in issue will file a complaint with the FIA's Ethics Committee over Horner's actions. According to the BBC, the complaint follows 2 previous whistleblower complaints registered with the FIA in the past few weeks, both of which concerned Horner's actions and Red Bull's inquiry into it. BBC Sport has heard that one was made to the FIA Ethics and Compliance Hotline on February 2nd, and it made direct reference to Horner's attitude towards a female colleague, requested the FIA to look into it, and expressed concern that Red Bull might try to cover it up. The second complaint, filed on March 6th, referred to the first and threatened that the whistleblower will next alert the media. Red Bull has not publicly said why the initial claim was rejected. It has not revealed the identity of the lawyer conducting the inquiry, nor has it yet shared its conclusions with relevant parties such as F1 or the FIA. There was no public explanation for the complainant's suspension either. Prior to dismissing the claim, the FIA stated that it would reserve detailed comments until the investigation concludes. Following the BBC's report that the complainant had filed a complaint with the FIA issued the following statement. At the FIA, inquiries and complaints are received and processed by the compliance officer and the ethics committee if necessary. Both bodies operate autonomously, guaranteeing strict confidentiality throughout the process. As a consequence, and in general, we are unable to confirm the receipt of any specific complaint, and it is unlikely that we will be able to provide further comment on the complaints that we may receive from any parties. If the complainant files a complaint with the FIA, it may require the FIA to address the issue in some way, whether by action or inactivity. Last week in Jeddah, Horner stated that he wanted everyone to draw a line under the controversy and return to racing. He has constantly denied any wrongdoing and claimed it was unfortunate that the alleged evidence against Horner had been leaked to top F1 people and media, resulting in a lot of coverage. A Red Bull Racing spokeswoman stated that they were unaware of the complaint and declined to comment more. The woman filed an official complaint with the FIA after her choice to appeal Red Bull's dismissal of her complaint. A lawyer undertook an inquiry before Red Bull announced their judgment. Last week, Red Bull suspended her from her team position. The allegations against Horner surfaced in early February, although the probe into his actions had begun about a month before. It lasted 10 weeks, according to Red Bull. The scandal is at the heart of a power battle within Red Bull that includes Horner, racing consultant Helmut Marko, the team's 3-time world champion Max Verstappen and his father Jos, Verstappen's manager Raymond Vermeulen, and the company's 2 owners. Last weekend, Max Verstappen's intervention helped save Marko from being terminated. It's clear that a power struggle is happening within Red Bull, but a solution seems far away as Chalem Uvidya, the 51% stakeholder, has backed Horner, forcing Red Bull GmbH, the 49% shareholder in Austria, to back down in its attempt to drive him out. Red Bull had declared that the investigation's findings would stay confidential, despite the fact that partners Ford and Honda had requested a public resolution to the problem. Throughout the probe, Horner maintained his position as the head of Red Bull's F1 operation, stating that the squad remained united despite conjecture. Throughout the process, the Red Bull team principal refuted the charges and asked people to move on from the event, which he described as an intrusion on his loved ones. But moving seems hard for fans, and especially the people working in the paddock, with even FIA President Ben Sulayem stepping in. The Red Bull turmoil is damaging F1, says boss of governing body. Comments by Mohammed Ben Sulayem come after the email leak of messages involving Christian Horner and the continued criticism from the paddock. The president of Formula One's governing body has warned that the controversy surrounding Red Bull Racing CEO Christian Horner is damaging the sport, following claims of inappropriate behaviour by the British team leader. Mohammed Ben Sulayem, president of the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, recognized the significance of the charges regarding Horner's attitude towards a female colleague after meeting with him on Friday. "It's damaging the sport. This is damaging on a human level," Ben Sulayem said. However, he said at that time, the 1st of March, that the governing body presently had no plans to initiate its own inquiry because it has not received a formal complaint itself. This, while it has now been revealed that there had been a complaint early February and now another one early March. Horner and Ben Sulayem met in Bahrain on Friday, one day before Red Bull began defending its Constructors and Drivers' Championships in the Middle Eastern island state. Ben Sulayem declined to elaborate on what the two men talked, but did say that a barrister conducted a thorough investigation on behalf of Red Bull. The FIA president went on to say that it was critical to protect our sport from all of this. "It is the beginning of the season. F1 is becoming so popular," he said. "We just need to enjoy the beginning of the season. Look at the competition. Why do we overshadow it with negativity?" The Emirati former rally driver, who has led the FIA since his election in December 2021, said that the regulatory body cannot jump the gun and must look into any complaint that comes through our compliance officer. According to those familiar with the issue, Formula One, controlled by US firm Liberty Media, and Ben Sulayem's FIA are in talks. F1 and the FIA have declined to comment. The inquiry has sparked concern among other teams as well as US carmaker Ford, which plans to return to Formula One in 2026 through a collaboration with Red Bull. The US carmaker, which had previously asked for a transparent and prompt probe, declined to comment on the most recent claims. And once again, McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown has urged for greater transparency in Christian Horner's probe. "I think it's disappointing that these allegations surfaced. I think it's very concerning. From what I can see, a lot of people still have a lot of questions. There is a lot of speculation, there is a lot of rumour, a 50-page report, a 100-page report, etc. Everybody being in the dark makes a lot of people uncomfortable." Brown then requested that the FIA take action on Horner's probe and examine the authenticity of the findings, which had not been made public. "I think we need to rely on the FIA. As our regulator, they have the responsibility and the authority to make sure that everyone in F1 is conducting themselves in a way that is appropriate to the sport's values both on and off the track, because we're all brand ambassadors. I'm just hoping the FIA had full transparency, and it's been very thorough. We haven't really heard from them, so my expectation is to hear from our governing body that they have seen what the report is, and they agree with the conclusion," he added. And this time, it's looking that the FIA will really investigate the matter. After all, how can they not if the employee is filing an official complaint to the FIA? And let's not forget that they have been tipped twice, once early February and once early March. Ben Sulayem surely can't go around it anymore now, right? What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.